G'day guys, Viv again. I'm going to be making another piece for the industrial refinery set that I'm building for the tables. So I thought I'd chuck the camera on and you can listen to me ramble and see how I put stuff together. So I'm going to be building another refinery piece, some sort of stuff with smokestacks. So I'm using a bunch of tubes. Now the tubes that have these rolled pattern on it, you can always grab yourself some of this thin card. I like to use manila folders. You could also use a piece of paper, but it depends on the glue that you use for the paper. By the time the paper dries and how tight you put it on there, you'll end up with the crease in the paper anyway. So I like to use these things and just wrap the tube up inside it. Cross it over a little bit so you've got somewhere to glue. Get yourself a pair of scissors and just sort of cut a rough line. Once you've done that, you can measure this out properly, perhaps fold it the other way so you've got the straight edge coming out. And then through the crease there you can lay a little pipe going all the way up just to cover the seam, but I'm not going to be bothered about that. I'm just going to make some quick simple stuff. If you wanted to make something that's a bit more sort of clean, you could do that. Some sort of lid from something. This is an iced tea bottles from Nestle. Make sure you wash this stuff. That's what I was just having a look at. You don't really want to be using food containers that you haven't washed. Otherwise you're going to end up with nasty stuff growing in there. The same thing goes with using organic material. When you talk about landscapes and stuff like that, you don't want to be using organic stuff that's going to rot. Test your areas with a miniature so you know if you can get around. It's always nice to have space around the edges of the base for the miniature to move around on, etc. Yeah, because the last thing you want to do is have stuff rot and your scenery starts smelling bad and you've got to chuck out a piece that you spent good time working on. I'm not massively neat with my glue gun. You have to be careful when you're working with hot glue because once you press it in there, it grabs straight away and you'll have a great deal of trouble moving it around, so you've got to be fairly precise with it. Just slowly start to add stuff to it. The great thing about this Pringle containers is that if you've got large pieces on there and you want to be able to take stuff apart, you can just pop that off, glue the lid down, and then you can take that off. Then you can put something else in there temporarily or something like that. So Pringle containers are great. So I'm going to just arrange a few of these. That leaves me a little bit of space to put something over here where I can connect pipes to the exhaust fan or something on, so I reckon I'm going to go ahead and glue that. That's the only thing you need to be aware of. If you put too much weight on here and someone tries to pick this up by the Pringles can, it's just going to fall off. At least they can grab it by this one and put the Pringle can back on. But that's the only thing to be aware of with this, I suppose, so far. For those tubes that have a thin diameter, it's always difficult to put the hot glue on here, so I always put it down on the base and then draw a line around the outside of it, and then when I lay down my glue, I put the glue on the inside of that line. just on the inside, so I know that I'm going to get the item whenever I push it down there. That was stupid. Now my Pringles container won't come off. But that's alright, I mean it's all going to be the same height anyway. You'd only do that if you had a very long extended piece on something. But at least that way that's made that more stable. Here we go. Okay, so here's an interesting piece that I found. This came along with the plumbing set. This is the inside bit of, I don't know, part of this plumbing equipment. And it's got these two little pulley things on it that I'm going to get rid of. I like to add another piece somewhere off the centre of the model to run pipes and stuff through, and also to give a little bit of extra cover as units move through the scenery. You just don't want something that's going to block their path. You want them to be able to actually move through it or around it, etc. Leaving another gap through there would have been good through the middle, but so I'm going to put this one here. Just a mini Coke can, and that can go on the edge because that way guys can move around the outside here on the tabletop, or they can move through in the inside. This is just a mini Coke can, 200ml Coke can with the top of a minced deodorant bottle, or any sort of deodorant spray will use these sort of bottles. I mean, that's how quick hot glue will work. When you build like this, you can just do tons of stuff, and I mean, if you're not too concerned about a little bit of glue showing through, or perhaps coming up when you do a dry brush or something, it doesn't really matter. That can go there, that gives a little bit of cover around this side. Oh, that's a little tight, otherwise I would say that could be a great objective. We got to come in here and open the valve. We can put a little valve here and this will open, but there we go. That's tight, but yeah, too tight for gameplay. So we might just something nice and quick and simple, and we can embellish it with pipes. So let's embellish it with some pipes.